But my mother told me a story there one time about a fairy. Because my mother now and my grandmother was up in County Mayo. And my grandmother and my mother walked up a lane to go to a farmer's house to get milk or potatoes, whatever they're going to get off the farmer. Like. And my young mammy seen something on the wall. So mammy was pregnant. So she took off her shawl, my granny took off her shawl and put it over my mother's head. And wrapped it over my mother's head. And mammy asked her when she come down on the lane anyway, she said, Biddy, what did you...
This would have been her mother-in-law now.
Yeah, what did you put the shawl over my head for? Oh no, Milana, she said. That was the word my young mammy used, Milana. It was, there was something on the wall, she said, and I didn't want you to look at. It was a fairy, she said, and of you being pregnant, she said, they could take the child. They could take the child. That was my young mammy saying. So my young mammy took the shawl down off her head when she passed by it. But that time, there was something on the wall, my young mammy seen it, and it was very bad. So she told her after that it was the fairies that could take the child that night. So that's why she wouldn't let you're not supposed to let a pregnant lady see what was on the wall, the fairy.
People years ago mightn't wash clothes. Women used to have to wash, out by the side of the wagon or the tent years ago on the road. And the women loved that's the way they'd wash their clothes, out in an old bath. There was an old river around to go down to that and wash the clothes. But there'd be a lot of them there that wouldn't wash clothes on a Sunday. They found it unlucky. And another thing that I found out, my granny now, I used to call her my own mammy, the Lord mercy on her. She used to say to my mother, like when I was a child, don't wash Nan's clothes, don't put Nan's clothes in the ditch, the fairies. She'd have that. I grew up with that, listening to that. I often remember mammy talking about it. Now I don't remember my granny. She died when I was, say, 4 or 5. But mammy often told me about it, Lord of mercy on her, that she'd say that I couldn't wash your clothes, Nan. She'd tell me she'd have them washed, another few bits brought to me, and go come out in the ditch. No, don't put the clothes in the ditch. That fairies would take them, or, that was the tradition they had anyway.
Well, my father, years ago, he was living in the country. You go over from field to field, then you go over a stile to get maybe to another farmer's house, and he'd go over the stile. But he was telling us a story one day. There was 2 old brothers, and the 2 of them had 2 homes, you see. Now this is about the fairies, and my daddy said, my daddy often told us a story, I never seen the fairy myself, but my daddy said, this is what happened anyway, because he used to go over and sit with these, tell stories and to be talking, but the 2 of them had 2 homes, but one of the fellow ran, I think it was Billy and Charlie. So Billy and Charlie Billy went across the field one night, anyhow, walking over to another house, go over the stile and down, and there was a tree in the middle of the field. That's supposed to be the sign of a fairy. If you see a tree with a kind of a circle thing around it, that's where the fairies. That's where the dance is around the tree, right? So Billy went down across and he bumped into the fairies, didn't he? So the fairies said, "You want to come down below?" He said, and play a bit of music. They were playing music and stuff. So he said, "All right." So I got down, he said, and played. So they played a bit of music and had a couple of hours, good old night. And at the end of the night, the fairy asked him, the fairies asked him, "Well, before we go now," he said, Charlie said, "Anything," he said, "you want me to do for you?" Charlie said, "Yeah," he said, "there's one thing," he said, "I want to do for you, if it's possible that you can do it at all," he said. He said, "I want the hump off my back." "That's done," he said. "You go home tonight," he said, "you wake up in the morning," he said, "your hump," he said, "it'll be gone," he said, right? So he went home, but the fairies told him, he said, "Don't ever," he said, "tell anyone that you met us and that you were down playing music and stuff, singing a few songs. Don't ever say anything about it, right? Not even your brother. And if your hump gets missing, don't even say it to your brother, right?" He promised the fairies. You're both keep a promise to him when you say that. But he went straight home and he told his brother about it. So he went to bed. He said, "I'll be ready my hump," he said, "tomorrow." He said, "The fairies told me to promise." But he made a mistake, you see, because he had a few drinks now when he went home, and he told the story to the furling. So he went to bed the next night, and his brother was in the other bed. So the next morning he woke up expecting his hump to be gone.
The hump was still there?
No, his hump was there, and also he took the hump off the other brother and gave it to him as well. Because he shouldn't have said anything. So he ended up with 2 humps.
He wasn't meant to tell anyone.
He wasn't meant to tell anyone. And he got up next morning, he had his hump and his brother's hump as well. And his brother had no hump. His hump was gone. And he never even met the fairies.
Who told you that?
My father.
Down here in the valley.
M'en revenant de la jolie Rochelle, m'en revenant de la jolie